Hi, I'm Keith Wilson, founder of Wilson Financial Advisors. This is Millennial Money Matters, where I teach you stuff you didn't learn in school. All right, so the question is, should you buy a home or should you continue to rent? Now, buying a home is part of the American dream. It's also one of the biggest financial investments you'll ever make. So before you jump into home ownership, ask yourself this: are you in debt? If the answer is yes, then you're not ready to buy a house. When you buy a house, guess what you're going to want to do first? You want to go out and buy furniture, maybe remodel, paint, and get the house in shape to make it what you want. This takes more money, and if you are already in debt, it compounds the problem. You don't want to take the American dream and turn it into an American nightmare. Next, do you have 3 to 6 months saved up in an emergency fund? If the answer is no, then you're not ready to buy a house. Think about it. Let's say you buy a house and all of a sudden you lose your job. How are you going to make the mortgage payment? You're waiting to find another job. If you miss payments, you may face foreclosure. Next, do you have enough for a sizable down payment? If not, you're not ready to buy a house. It used to be you only had to have, you had to have 20% of the purchase price for a down payment. Now things have changed. You could get into a house with a very small down payment, but if you put very little down and things go south on you, you run the risk of being upside down, meaning you owe more than the house is worth. Remember 2008 and the housing crisis? That's what happened. I would like to see you put down as much as you can to the point your mortgage payment is no more than 25% of your take-home pay. Now you might say, hey, I could get into a house and the mortgage payment would be less than my rent. That could be true, but you need to think about other expenses that come up throughout the year, like you got property taxes, insurance, maintenance on the house. Hey, I'm sure that new home has a lawn. You got to buy a lawnmower. And there could be possible homeowners association dues. All of this adds up. Now, in the long run, home ownership versus renting makes sense because you will be building equity in the home and the mortgage payment would be locked in versus the rent that increases. Okay, so let's say you have no debt, you got the 3 to 6 months for emergencies, you got enough for a sizable down payment, and you're ready to buy a house. Keep these things in mind. So, in my opinion, you should look at a 15-year mortgage with a fixed rate versus 30-year mortgage. You want to have this thing paid off as soon as possible. Then after 15 years, when the house is paid off, invest what you were paying in mortgage payments. Don't buy more than you can afford. A starter home is just that, a starter home. People are watching way too much HGTV and they're getting these big dreams and visions of $1 million homes. Make sure the payment is no more than 1/4 of your take-home pay. Now, if you have questions about this or any other financial topics, hey, give me a call. I would love to discuss your unique needs and circumstances.